I mentioned earlier the tremendous success of Jack Marley in the Olympics and previously that gold and silver at European level. I should also mention Robin O'Reilly, who's 14, also from Monkstown Boxing Club. Started boxing when she was 10 and just won a bronze medal at European level. And the important thing about that is that success is down to a club that was built in a very, very disadvantaged area, had to fight a very, very long time, more than 2 decades, for decent facilities. Finally now they're going to have a new clubhouse. But clubs shouldn't have to fight that much to unlock that talent, the tremendous talent and the pride now that Jack and Robin and many of the other boxers are giving to the local area. So you contrast that with, for example, Ballybrack, another disadvantaged area, boxing club, who are having to go do GoFundMe online for boxing gloves, for basic equipment, when they're trying to sort of emulate that success. Or many, many clubs that mightn't be at that sort of very high level. I mentioned Sallynoggin Pierce earlier on, that serve older footballers that want to do more of a community type operation, but are struggling to get support from the council. And I think there just needs to be a more, as I said earlier to Minister, a more proactive approach to help those in disadvantaged areas who often won't even know about the schemes that are out there or will find it difficult to deal with the bureaucracy, but need help and support.
Just in terms of Deputy Boyd Barrett's point, disadvantaged areas are prioritised in this programme, and we did reach out to the Football Association of Ireland, the Irish Athletic Boxing Association as well, to encourage them to get their clubs to apply, because it is possible for clubs to apply for equipment. The local club to me, the East Meath Boxing Club, would have applied for a new ring, and got that, and they would have got 100% funding for that. So we certainly encourage them to do that, and there are people within the associations who help clubs, but also in the local sports partnerships as well. And we try to simplify the form as much as possible to make it possible for everybody to apply. We are, in relation to Deputy Horrigan as well, we are encouraging the local authorities to make a more proactive approach to providing of sports facilities. And I have to say, I do detect a difference in attitude in Dublin City Council in relation to that. I think I've had a couple of meetings now with the new city manager, and I think he's very proactive.
Yeah, well, Dick Shakespeare was my manager in UCD when we won the Collingwood Cup in soccer, so he has an interest in soccer, and I'm glad to hear that sort of positive response in Dublin City, but I think that needs to be generalised everywhere. And I do think that there's got to be a focus also on clubs that have a particular kind of community remit. So it's not just about the high performance stuff, although that can be very important, as we've seen with Monkstown Boxing Club, but also the community remit. And sometimes thinking outside the box in terms of supporting clubs that where sport is just one part of what they're trying to do at a community level, and they're looking for facilities that are both community facilities and sports facilities, and trying to encompass women and men and so on in it. Sallynoggin Pierce is a particular example. I hope I've said that enough times for you to hear it and for being passed up the line, who are looking for a particular type of facility. And just one last thing is also the question of the control of facilities is often a point of argument between local authorities and clubs, and I think the local authorities shouldn't be so controlling when we're talking about the development of facilities.
Okay, I have a supplementary remark.
Look, just to thank everybody who's been in touch, and I think most deputies have been in touch about particular clubs in their area, and I think we will satisfy the demand under the Community Sports Facilities Fund, as we're now calling the Sports Capital Programme. I think most clubs will be very satisfied with that. In relation to the large scale, and I'll get the figures at some point for Deputy O'Sullivan, in relation to the large scale projects, there is a mismatch between the demand and the funding available. The demand is 660 million, the funding available is about 120 million. So I think we're going to have to examine that carefully, and they're being assessed at the moment. And in relation to regional projects, some entities have applied for regional funding, which is larger grants, and Some will not qualify for that under the independent assessment process in the department. Again, the appeals mechanism is open to them, but we can't open up regional funding to every single club and every single association, because that would take away the point of it being for larger facilities which serve a bigger area.